Welcome to Hairblazers, the podcast where seasoned salon owners and industry specialists share their knowledge. Our mission is to empower owners and elevate salons through conversation about what matters most to you. A senior stylist that's perfect for your business is never just going to magically appear in your salon one morning. If you want to grow your team and your business, you need to invest in the stylists you have and grow new talent. And that means visiting your local hair schools. We're going to take you through the 3-step process we use to get 6 applications every month from students who want to work with us. Brooke, thank you so much for being here today. Brooke is the general manager of the Verde Salon Group and plays a very pivotal role in bringing in new talent stylists from the schools. And she works really well balancing that relationship with salon and school. So today we're going to talk about recruiting from the school. Maybe take it from there. Tell us kind of what you do and what are the best practices for salons when they want to bring on new talent from hair schools.
Yeah, I think my number one piece of advice is make yourself present, make yourself known, be in the building, be in the space, talk to the students, talk to the educators. If you build that relationship with them, they're more likely to be like, hey, have you met X from so-and-so salon? They're amazing. Are you looking for an apprenticeship? Oh, they have a great apprenticeship program. They talk about it all the time. So if you really make yourself known in the school, why wouldn't they want to come and check you out?
And to me, it sounds like very simple. Like, why wouldn't you do that? So like, can you think of any reasons why maybe some salon owners or some salons don't maybe take that step?
Yeah, I think resources and time are always a big thing for people. It's like, oh, who's going to go do this? How much money am I willing to put into this? Who's going to do the scheduling for this? You really need to find that person. And it doesn't necessarily have to be you. Like, you own the salon, but like you are part of the salon. You are the vice president of Verde Salon Group. And yet you don't go and talk to the new talent in those situations. Yes. You're around teaching, which obviously makes a huge impact on them in another way. But to actually go and do those presentations for them and build that relationship, you need to have boots on the ground, and it might not necessarily be one person.
And doesn't it kind of make sense? I don't know. I'm just thinking if I'm a student, I would want somebody coming in who I feel like I can kind of relate to, not necessarily like a big, scary, big, scary salon owner.
Yeah.
So I feel like that might be more comfortable for them.
Yeah. So we always have 3 touch points with each graduating class. So who doesn't love a sweet treat? So I always send them cupcakes on like their first week. It's just a nice way to say like, hey, we're around. If you need anything, follow us on Instagram, send us a DM. We like to keep it casual. We want to keep those lines of communication open. And then I also set up a meeting with their educator to do like a 45-minute presentation. I bring a couple new talent with me. They come and talk about their experience. We just did one last week, and the new talent that came with me hit it out of the park. She literally talked about how scared she was, how intimidating it was walking into a salon for the first time. And a lot of the students, you could just see them being like, okay, so what I'm feeling is normal. And there's actually people here to support you, to get you through the other side, because it's there, but you just really do have to find that support. So we try to be that.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. And it seems like, bringing someone in that maybe they even went to that school while those students were there. So they might even have that relationship already where they see, oh, okay, like we went to school together and now you're thriving here. Like that might be a good person to bring.
Seeing somebody a year out of graduating, having full guest days and being booked and rebooking guests and selling retail and just moving through the level system, getting promotions as often as they can. That looks really good.
Yeah.
And you don't just talk the talk, but obviously like you walk the walk because they're living proof that it's possible. So it's not so far out of reach for them that they think. They're like, oh, I just got to complete my hours. I just got to get out of here. I just got to complete my hours.
It can feel like, it's such like a huge mountain to climb. So I'm sure getting like other perspectives and seeing, oh, this is what's next. Like that's exciting.
There's so much opportunity. And sometimes when you're in it, you kind of forget. Yeah. So then to see, like, take a step back, see the big picture, because it's endless. The beauty industry is huge.
Oh, and we were just talking about this in like every episode. I think it comes up where like there are endless possibilities, not just financially, but artistically, like anything you want to do.
I was just going to say, we were talking to one of the classes and someone was like, oh, I really love photography, or like, I really love social media. And I'm like, oh, well, hairstyling is perfect for you because you have to do all of those things to be successful, to be a hairstylist, to get your name out there, to get guests. So having those interests, I think, is super important. And if you have a salon that helps you foster your other creative things that you like to do, like win, win, win.
Absolutely. So step one, we were talking about the treats, which everybody loves
The
treats.
sweet treats.
So something else that I was thinking of, and I brought up before, Secret Service, like little details. So great, bring treats to students. What are some little details, and I kind of have like an answer to this too, of the kind of building on bringing the treats that are going to make the difference for certain students?
Yeah, so not only do we send a treat, but I also film a little video. It literally takes me a minute of my day, and I say, hey, my name is Brooke. I'm the general manager of Verde Salon Group. Here's a sweet treat for you on your first day. I hope you enjoy your hair journey. The next 10 months are going to go so fast. You're going to learn so much about yourself, about hair, about life, about other people around you. Take it all in. It's going to go fast, but it's going to feel like forever at the same time.
So true.
So just enjoy it as best as you can. You're going to learn a lot. There's going to be so much thrown at you. So I just try to say like, hey, you're not alone. Lean on each other. We're here for you. Reach out to us. And I just get my face in their head.
I was going to say your face. I was just going to say that.
I just put my face in their head so that the next time I come around, they're like, oh, you sent us those cupcakes.
And you're like, yes, I did.
Yes, I did.
Yes, I did. So step 2, you come in with one of the new talent stylists. What does the third touch point look like?
The third touch point is called, well, we've entitled it Stylist to Stylist. So we bring in stylists that have been in the industry, some of them for 10 years, some of them for 5 minutes, some of them are team leads, some of them are managers or leaders, some of them have been with us not that long. We try to get like a good mixture of our whole team and bring them along to the school. And then they get the opportunity to ask them anything they want to. So if you were a budding stylist just about to finish school, what would you want to know? You want to know how much money can I make? What are the tips like? What's my schedule like? How do you blend highlights so well? What's a placement for this?
Like anything and everything.
Anything and anything. Nothing's off the table. And we always just try to answer them as truthfully as we can.
That's great. I'm thinking, being a student, they might get a little bit nervous to ask questions. So like, are there any recommendations you can make to maybe alleviate some of that stress and allow students kind of prompt them to be asking these questions?
Yeah, absolutely. We always try to prepare them ahead of time. So get the educator to say, hey, we have presenters coming in today. We have stylists coming in today. Can you each prep 2 to 3 questions that would be something you're interested in the hair world or beauty industry that they could possibly answer for you? So doing some prep work ahead of time always helps. But then when you're there, split them into groups, get them talking together, because you're more likely to get some really nitty gritty questions if they're able to go back and forth a little bit. Yeah. So always having groups is really, really important to getting good questions.
That totally makes sense. So it's great getting the students all together, asking lots of questions. But I mean, the educators play a big role in this as well.
Huge. I wouldn't be able to come into their class and speak to them if I didn't have some sort of rapport with the education team. Get the emails of your educators from your institutes or your beauty schools. Reach out to them, because I guarantee you they would love to have you in their space. I don't think there would be a school that would say, oh no, we're not interested. Any school I've talked to or anybody who owns a school, they're always like, please come. Yes. Like, talk to our students, tell them what there is out there, tell them what you have to offer. It's really eye-opening to see how many people don't take advantage of the opportunity to show the students what you have to offer.
Yes.
So they're hungry for it. They really, really want it. They want to know what's next. Where do I go? What do I do? What's out there? Do I want to work at a barbershop? Do I want to work at a hair salon? Do I want to work at a spa that has everything? So there's really no right answer. You just have to go. You just have to make yourself known, communicate with them that, hey, this is what we've got going on. And if you do that with the educators, they're more likely to be on your side when their students are asking for advice. Because who are they going to go to? Their educator.
It's like Ghostbusters.
Yeah. Who are you going to call?
Yeah. Brooke. We're going to call the salons that are doing presentations. And I think students, we were talking about maybe being a little bit nervous to ask questions. I think in many cases, salon owners and people who are working in salons, that might be one of the things holding them back. Salon owners thinking, oh man, maybe I don't have what I think I have to offer, or maybe I'm nervous to ask the students, questions, or I'm nervous to talk in front of them. Like, what are some first steps salon owners or managers can do to kind of just alleviate that and just go for it?
Yeah, I had like a personal like turmoil with myself a few months ago being like, is this worth it? Is this worth our time? Like, is like, does it even matter what I'm doing? Like, does anybody care?
Yeah.
And then I looked around at our team and I was like, oh, wow, they're here because of what we were doing in the school. They're here because they saw our presentation, or we came to their career fair, or we went to their grad. So they really notice. And if they're like, oh, wow, someone cares that much about me and I'm not even working for them yet, could you imagine if I applied there and what that would feel like? So just get yourself involved, immerse yourself in the school, immerse yourself in the students. You don't actually even have to come around as much as you think. Social media, it can play a
Yes.
huge part in that.
Yeah.
I always say, follow me on social media. I will like, follow, comment, put some fires on your blonde that you just did. Like, get yourself known, because when I come around, they're like, oh my gosh, you like the picture of my blonde highlights.
Isn't
I
that
did.
a great feeling
And
too?
it's so cool. I love it.
And it's such a simple thing for you to do, and for them it can mean like the world.
It takes 5 minutes of your day.
No time.
No time.
So we've talked about talking the talk.
Mhm.
So now let's talk about walking the walk. So now you've done these 3 touch points, and now these students really want to come work for you. Like, what are some things that are really important to students that you can offer them at your salon?
Yeah, so I think for me personally, I know that we have continued education. That is huge, especially when coming into a school. You're already talking to people who are investing in themselves, investing in their education. So if you're saying, hey, once you're done this education, we're going to invest in you and you're going to continue your education. Can you imagine being a student and being like, oh, wow, that sounds pretty great. And I also say to them, even if you're not applying to work with us, I would encourage you to ask your future employer, what does my future education look like? Do you have an education plan for me? And if they don't, and it's super important to you, it might not be the right fit.
Yeah, no, that totally makes sense. Like, and we always say, like, you're interviewing the salon as well,
Yeah.
right? It's not just a one-way street. And then for salon owners that go in and, tell the students what they have to offer, you better make sure that you're actually offering those things afterwards.
Yes.
So yeah, the follow-up is also very important. So maybe if you're nervous about going into the school, you should think about, man, maybe I need to level up. Maybe I need to think about some more things that I can offer to students.
That's what I was going to say. If you're like, oh my gosh, what would I talk to 50 students about my salon? I'm like, I couldn't shut up about it. I'm like, what do you mean? So if you don't know, maybe that's a time to look inward and be like, what are we offering?
Absolutely.
Do we have anything to offer? Do we have new talent? Are we attracting new stylists? Are we stale? Like, what do you have going on?
I'm going to talk about 2 things that don't work. One is going to be panicking. I need somebody to work. I need to hire somebody. I'm going to go on Instagram and post and say, I'm hiring, we're hiring, come work for us.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great addition, but that just can't be all that you're doing. The second thing is, don't call hair schools when you're panicked saying, I need you to send me someone. So that is like an in the moment, not thinking ahead. And a lot of times the hair school, they're thinking, oh, we have these other salons that are coming in and actually spending time with the students. Why are we going to take extra time to send students to a salon that, hasn't invested in them or hasn't helped them grow or come talk to them or built that relationship?
Mm-hmm. The very first point I made was you got to be present. So whether that's actually in the building or on Instagram, just posting isn't enough, right? Like, you really need to know who the students are, know who the educators are, know what you have to offer. If you have those 3 things, I think you're going to attract who you want to attract. But if you have none of those checks and balances done, good luck.
Yeah.
Like, really.
Yeah. It would be very difficult to recruit, especially from schools, like in that time. So what are some suggestions for salon owners that aren't sure how to even start or where to start when they're going into the school? What are some things they can do?
Yeah, if talking in front of a crowd is not your huge thing and you're not like a presentation person, totally get that. But there's so many other ways that you can interact with the school. If they have a career fair, that's an excellent way to get your foot in the door. There's going to be a lot of people doing the same thing as you. So you're within a community of people. It's comfortable. You know what to expect. You're talking more one-on-one. There's also the opportunity to do a demo. So if you want to talk to one of the educators or the school director and figure out a time that would work to do your best highlight placement or a highlight boot camp, as you like to call
Yes.
it. Something about maybe stress relief or POD, whatever that means for you, whatever you have to offer, whatever you think your strength is, go with that first. I say all this to say, if you are a salon owner, you want more stylists. So where are you getting those stylists from? We've just been talking a lot recently about where do we find more stylists? And we've realized that growing your own and putting the investment into new talent is something that really speaks to us and that we've seen really great success with. So for us, it's always going to be, let's get more new talent. We love new talent. So whatever that means for you as your business, we just got to make sure that they have the support they need and that the stylists at the salon have the support they need too. So it's kind of a checks and balances, but the school always wants you there. They always want you there. I'm telling you, whatever you can do to get into a school and talk to the students, do it now.
Take the first step.
Yes.
Email, call the school,
Yeah.
And then just start building that relationship.
You know, like the contact us page on
Good start.
On the website, start there.
Brooke, thank you for coming. Always love having you. You're always so passionate about everything that you talk about, and you can really see that. So thanks for sharing your thoughts as far as recruiting from schools.
Thank you for having me on Hairblazers. I was so excited to be asked, so thank you so much.
Oh, it's our pleasure. Thank you so much for listening. Leave a review, share with your team, and tune in next time. We appreciate you.